had it long enough now. So this is the new GoPro Black Hero 5, and I thought I'd do a quick review on it. Now this is not going to be your average review where I'll run through the settings and show you how to do the time and the date and all the rest of it. Heaps of those. All I'm going to do is do a review on what I like and dislike about it. There are a couple of little things that I dislike about it, but in general it's a pretty good camera for the price. I paid $485 for this thing. So it's pretty good for what it is, and anyone that's watched any of my videos before knows that I've been using the Garmin Virb Elite to do all my videos, which is an awesome camera. I've got it right here. Right, awesome camera. Only reason I changed and went to this, and I still use this sometimes, but the only reason I went to this is because on this one the mic is on the back, all right, and if you take the camera off to talk to it as you're riding, all the wind straight up the iris and you can't hear yourself talk on the video. Whereas this one has got 3 mics on it. I think there's one on the top, one on the side and one on the bottom, and it seems to, no matter which position you're in, whether you're riding with it on your bike or whether you're talking into it, it seems to be able to cancel out all the wind noise really well and picks the audio up perfectly. So when you're speaking into it, it's very clear. Video quality is excellent with it. I run this one, but then again it is on my Garmin as well. Okay, it's just as good on that. This one does do the Ultra 4K, and I'm not sure about the Virb, to be honest with you. I think it may do, but I'm not 100% sure about it. But all I ever run at my Virb was 1080p 30 frames per second. Now this one I've been running at 1080p 60 frames per second, but I've dropped it down now to 30 frames per second. Reason being is I tried it at the start of a ride the other day. It was on for an hour and 40 minutes and the battery was dead. So it lasted an hour and 40 minutes at 1080p 30 frames per second, which is exactly the same amount of time that my Virb lasts, around the same, but at 30 frames per second. So battery life isn't brilliant, so hopefully maybe dropping that down a tad to 30 frames per second, maybe that will increase battery life, I don't know. The other thing is the voice control. Now people ask me about the voice control on it. It works very well. I don't use it myself. Again, I've turned it off to try and save battery life, okay? But I will demonstrate it now. So if we turn it on, okay, so it's on now. There's the little screen on the back. It's a very good screen. It's all touch screen, dead easy to set up and do. So if we go GoPro start recording, and now it's recording, and then you want to stop, you say GoPro stop recording, and it stops. So that side of it is very good, and it actually does work even when you're riding along and the wind's blowing all through it and all the rest of it. It still works, so it is pretty good on that side of things. As I say, the battery life is one of the things I dislike about it. It's not very good at all, but then again neither's the Virb. The Virb has got a pretty crappy battery life on it as well. The best one for the battery life is this one, the Fly 6. That is awesome. 6 hours I've been riding for before, and this has kept going and going and going, and it will last longer than 6 hours. So that one's got the best battery life. This one's not brilliant, but everything else about this I like. The main reason I went with this one is because of the mics, and it picks up your voice when you're talking into it much better, so it cancels out all that noise. So that's mainly why I went to this instead of the Virb. The screen and that is pretty awesome, but do I use it? No, never use it, because when you're riding on the bike, on my bike it's positioned like this, upside down, and I'm never looking at the screen. If you're talking into it, you're not looking at the screen, so really don't need it anyway. But I mean, it's a nice thing there, but again, that's the sort of thing I disable in the settings to try and make the battery life go a bit longer. And I'm sure The more you disable, obviously the longer the life will be of the battery. The one thing that niggles me with it more than anything is the transfer of data, which I will show soon, right? I'm going to connect all my cameras up, so I'm going to connect the Fly 6, this, and the Garmin, okay? And I'll show you what I mean. Sorry, the GoPro. I'll show you what I mean. The transfer of data on this thing is absolutely shocking. The software that you get with it is absolutely rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. They make you log in, you've got to get a username and a password. Like, I need another username and a password in my life. Not. So they make you do all that to activate the program. It's an absolute mess, it really is. GoPro could have done something a heap better. And how I'm going to sort out the transfer of data, I don't know, because it should be pretty easy, but it isn't. Weight wise, I'll go through the weights on it as well. I've weighed them all, and I'll show you those in a minute, but we will now connect them up and I will show you on the computer how I get the footage of the films off each device and onto the computer. And I'll show you how quick and easy it is with the Fly 6 and the Garmin Virb, and how hard it is with this thing. Alright, so I've connected all the cameras. I've got the Fly 6, the Garmin Virb and the Hero Black all connected now. I'll just go through the weights side of things. Here's the GoPro, and that's 165 grams. That's with the case that you put it in, and my little holder that I made. That's the quarter turn holder I made for it to jump it on and off the bike easy. And then we've got the Virb with the cradle, 205 grams, so a bit heavier. The Virb, and then the Fly 6 with the straps and the block that goes on the seat post, 165 grams, so pretty light, those two. Virb's the heaviest. Alright, so now let's go to the Fly 6. Now this is running straight off the SD cards. Now all three of them have got, I think, 64 gig SDs, and they're the high quality ones, so they've got a fast transfer rate, and they're all the 4K, ultra 4K, okay? So they're the good ones, no excuses here. Now here's the Fly 6, so this is straight into the SD card of the Fly 6. If you want to have a quick look at a video without importing them, because you don't want to import all of these, yeah? It's just a waste of hard drive space. You just want to pick the videos you want, all right? So with this one, you can just double click and bang, you're watching it straight away. That's how instant it is, yeah? And then you can fast forward, make sure that's the one you want. If that's what you like, that's good. You then go back and you just simply copy and paste it to whichever file you want, and then you can put it into your editing suite and do your thing. So that is awesome. The Fly 6 is fantastic, works perfect every time, okay? So that's one thing I love about that. Go to the Virb, does exactly the same. We jump onto that, and straight away you're watching the video. You can decide whether this is the clips you want, and then you just simply go, yeah, I'll copy and paste that into the folder, and then you can start your editing. Alright, now we come to the Hero Black. This is the bit that niggles me more than anything. I don't know whether I've got a bit of a dud camera, or maybe there's something wrong with the SD card. I'm not sure. I'm going to change the SD cards with one of the other ones next time I ride, and see if that makes any difference. But this is what you get. Alright, so we click on it, go into the SD card on the camera. Here's everything that's on it at the moment. Alright, so there it all is. We just say we want to try and find a video. I don't know which one's a video, but well, there you go. That's what you get. Can't play. Please try again. If the problem continues, visit xbox.com/support to check for guidance. That is what you get every single time when this happens. So it's a bit of a pain. Sometimes it will work and sometimes it won't. What I've found I've had to do is unplug the camera and plug it back in. It just doesn't work. It's a real pain, it really is. So that is one of the things I can't stand about. It's actually the worst thing, because to make a video takes you long enough anyway, and then sometimes it can take me an hour or an hour and a half just to extract one bit of footage I want from the SD card off the GoPro to get it so as I can start editing it. It's a real pain. You got this one, the software or the program that comes with these cameras, with this Hero 5, they make you sign in with a username and a password, and to me it's an absolute pain in the backside. So if we go to this one and say let's import files, it just, again, there you go, file could not be imported. Alright, there was an issue importing. Got it. How do you get them off the damn camera? It's a real pain, this is. It's really starting to irk me off big style. Alright, so as you can tell, the file transfer is the one thing that gives me the absolute heebie-jeebies with this little camera. Alright, I can handle the battery life. I can handle the battery life being a bit crappy, yeah? But as far as transferring the data, it should be simple. It should be as easy as it is off the Fly 6 and the Garmin. You shouldn't need any special software. You shouldn't have to use their software, their programs. You shouldn't have to log into anything. You should just be able to connect it to your computer and go. And you can't blame my computer for this. It's a good computer. It's an i7. It's got 32 gig of RAM. It's a solid state drive. It's got a dedicated graphics card with its own processor on it. It's fully set up to do video rendering. You saw how quickly it pulls the files out of those other two cameras and starts playing them instantly. So it's something to do with either the camera might be faulty, the SD card might be faulty. I'm hoping it is just the SD card, and as I say, I will format all the SD cards later on and I'll swap them over and just see. It could just be the SD card. Let's hope that's all it is, or it could be a software issue. I don't know. I've updated this once already since I've had it. I've had it for 2 weeks now, but just not happy with that file transfer. So everything I like about this except extracting the bloody videos to my hard drive. So all in all, which one do I think is the best camera? I'm going to hold it up. To me, hands down, that is the best camera. The reason being is it's got long battery life, it's light, 165 grams, it's easy to transfer the data, it's easy to mess around with the videos and edit them. They're dated, they're timed, they're logged, you can loop it, it's got good quality of the video, and it's got good audio. It cancels out all that wind noise. I'm seriously considering going out and getting the brother to this, the Fly 12, the front bike camera for this, because this, I've got to tell you, is a friggin' awesome camera. I mean, it just works. It just freaking works. The only thing, I love this one as well. This is awesome. Now, I've got to be absolutely honest with you. If this mic was as good as the mics on this, I would never have bought this, and I would have just kept this, because I love this camera, but it's just, no matter where you hold it, no matter how you hold it, where it's positioned on the bike, you get terrible wind through it, and I have to edit it and mess around with it on my videos. The only bad thing about this, there's always something bad, isn't there? The only bad thing with this that I've found so far, which is nothing to do with the unit, but is these things. These are the straps that hold them on. As you can see, they're snapped again. You know, this is, I think, the third set I've gone through now. That side of it, guys, if you can make them a little bit better, you know, I'll be happy chappy. That's it. But for me, I'm going to maybe have a go at the Fly 12 next. That's got to be it. I'll have about 5 grand's worth of videos, but eventually I'll get the right one. So I'm going to persevere with this though, and just see if I can change the SD card, and hopefully that will correct it. So anyway, that is my little review. As I said at the start, it wasn't going to be an in-depth one where I start telling you all about the dates and all the rest of it, because that's easy, anyone can do that. If you've had one of these sorts of cameras before, they're all pretty standard, they're all pretty easy to navigate through. It was just a short little review and showing you what I do and don't like about the GoPro and comparing them with the other two cameras that I've got. You got any questions or comments, post them down below.